So Emma, please, the floor is yours. And Emma is our last speaker for today's meetup.
Everyone. Is it blurry a bit? Thanks so much for the very kind introduction. Thank you so much for being here and attending my talk. Today, I will speak about on this topic, A Developer's Guide to Practical GenAI. I'm invited to speak because I co-authored a book on this topic. Maybe to mention about the community, I'm running a Postgres user group. So if you're interested in open source and databases, um, I will be around during networking chat about it. And you are very welcome to join. Okay, so let's start. So because now I know a bit about you from the previous question and answers, about me, my name is Emma Saroyan. You can reach me via email or on LinkedIn. And so I've been actually have advocacy work with different startups for the past five years, and the book journey was a year-long journey. Actually, AI is developing so fast that maybe the content is a bit outdated in my book already. It was published in December 2024, but I'm working on like updates and versions. So I wanted to give a disclaimer that today I'm just sharing my learning and my personal knowledge with you, and I'm not speaking off of any company that I've worked for or I work for. So my talk is going to have three parts. I want to talk about how GenAI has been changing how we code, how we work, and how we collaborate through different um, prompt engineering tips um, for coding, tools, and for work and collaboration. So let's start for generative AI for code. So how many of you actually use any GenAI tool for code? Do you use ChatGPT? No? Which one do you use? Actually, my talk is about ChatGPT because my book is about ChatGPT. But this is the last talk I'm going to give about ChatGPT. I want us to work through a story generator app to build with ChatGPT and Next.js and see how we can use it effectively to actually achieve this goal. And actually, my goal is for you to live with the next practical step to take in your AI journey. So the problem is building an AI-powered Next.js web app with ChatGPT. So if you use it, I think this is probably a familiar situation that if you give short prompts, you will get poor results. ChatGPT is very verbose, it errors, it hallucinates, it uses old versions of APIs and libraries. So how to work around this limitation? The solution is the chain of thought. I want to quickly go over this, but then you will see some of the like up-to-date tools that actually is under the hood. So you don't now need to use this or apply this strategy, but I think it's very good to know. So it's about writing detailed prompts with number steps. So if you actually ChatGPT is bad at guessing what you want, but if you give step-by-step instructions, it will follow your instructions and give you the results that you want. Start with design. Generating an ASCII art layout. So ChatGPT is very good at being creative, and if you give this prompt and you mention all the technologies you are going to use, the number of designs you want to generate, also what how many pages or what formats you want it to visualize it, and all the details, it will give you this result. And the key here is to add as many details about the page as possible. And then you should iterate because like in creating a web app, you should ask ChatGPT for edits and for changes. Because it does not give the best answer the first time, you should ask for example. Iterate by prompting for changes until it's right. Then convert the design to code. Ask it to generate the HTML and the CSS. Specify the languages and the frameworks that you are going to use in the prompt. Customize the style. Specify changes as numbered bullet points, like here, like here. And this is the result. So you specify all the styles and everything. This is the change. And then you create new pages based on include code from existing pages to create new pages based on existing ones. And remember that ChatGPT often forgets things, so you should remind it to include the features that it forgets by including the word remember and pasting the code here from the existing one. And this is the change dot and all the details here in the prompt. Regeneration of prompts. ChatGPT doesn't generate the same thing every time. So if the first result isn't good, try regenerating it a few. Okay, so in Story Generator app, the three key steps are the front-end code generation, so the generation of the UI, the back-end code generation, and making edits. Okay, so in the UI code generation, this is the context that we're providing here, that I'm writing a web page using Net. And we're giving this to ChatGPT so that it has the context. And then this is the change dot, where we actually specify even how, like what buttons we're going to have, everything, and also how we're going to call the API. And the response from this API will be the story, and then the format and everything, and give us the code file. So this is the result that we get. Uh, Generating a story prompt. So writing good prompts is hard. So it's this tip is about actually asking ChatGPT, prompting ChatGPT to generate prompts. And here you will see that we're asking it and then describing the output format. And also being specific is important too. We're adding that no other information is about being specific. So this is the generating a story prompt by prompting ChatGPT to generate the prompt. And this is the result, something similar to this, a prompt to generate a story with the details we specified and as a template string like we asked. So you will get like this. And in the backend part, I want to mention about using the ChatGPT manually, doing this step manually, because to avoid hallucinations, like I said, ChatGPT has knowledge cutoffs, so it's important to mention the model. This is for all, but the latest models significant in performance. Using those, even the tools that or new features that I speak about, you don't even need this long like chain of thought strategies. So a working story generator app. We have the fully working app. Just use ChatGPT. So if you want to add another story input, you can do it by pasting the code here. So provide existing code to get refinements. You can do it below the prompt and describe output format here. So the result will be this. You will have a new genre, and you can add as many new like features as you want. And then you can add illustrations using OpenAI another API called DALI, which is for image generation. 3 steps: generating prompt for DALI, generating the illustration, and then returning the image. So giving the story to ChatGPT to generate a prompt for DALI, we actually, if you remember that regeneration of prompts, we're using it here because we cannot give the whole story to DALI. It's much smaller. It has a much smaller prompt length limit. And then DALI generates the illustration, and then it returns the image. And this is the illustration editor. So we have our story generator app with the illustration, which is related to the content. And if you actually want a new illustration, you can regenerate the prompt and it will give a new one. Every time it gives a new result. Okay, so the last thing about ChatGPT I want to mention is the codec. This is the agentic feature. GPT actually was really cool. With GPT-5, there is the codex that makes it an agentic model, and it's what is codex? It's an open source local coding agent, um, and it can run in your terminal, and it can read files, it can edit files. You can really use it to build new features or build apps from scratch. And for example, here you can, if you have a sketch of a or a screenshot of a page, you can give it to Codex and it will write the code for you. So it kind of automates that chain of thought. You will see the chain of thought process, how it does it all automatically for you. And it will help you work on many tasks in parallel. Running in the terminal, you can see the chain of thought. You um, like it explains the code at the same as the task that you requested it for. It has multimodal reasoning, which is capability that it can quickly give you, like generate code for you, especially on very complex uh, tasks in very complex code bases. It can actually perform very well and save you a lot of time. For example, daily 3 to 5 hours you save by using Codex. And this is the magical feature. I really love it. Another tool that is very, very popular is the Cursor for developers. It's AI native code editor or IDE, and it has this like ChatGPT style um, capabilities inside of it already, like the chain of thought and other things. And it's built on top of VS Code. Integrate. Some of the use cases are the rapid prototyping. If to do rapid prototyping, debugging, and fixing errors are faster because it gives you that environment, not in the browser, but in the IDE. And it helps um, chat with it to understand your code and debug faster, and no manual reviews. Actually, you can use both like Cursor and Codex, for example, and do parallel both in the IDE and terminal. And this also is I think, used from my research in companies and that I've talked to. I think every developer almost now is like uses Cursor. And yeah, if there are any like managers here, actually I discovered this recently that Jira has an AI feature. And I think this is because Jira is very popular. I wanted to share this with you in case you didn't know that it now is an AI powered tool, and it has virtual teammate for you to help you collaborate. Who collaborates with you, knows a lot about your like what you do, and can collaborate to help you accelerate your work, save time. And some of the I think highlights are this GenAI and the issue editor that you can actually use the AI now to search for issues to write also in the issue editor, and AI for automation. So I also wanted to talk about open source AI frameworks. This one especially, like one from this is my favorite because I will tell. So Haystack is a fully open source. Forgot to say the codex is also open source, and you can on GitHub the repo. Haystack is also fully open source. It's an AI framework by DeepSet, created by DeepSet, end-to-end framework that makes it easier to build applications that use. Um, it's an abstraction which can be capabilities to your needs. So those are components, pipelines, and document stores. And it can be used for various AI use. But one of the most common is customer chatbot. Uh, and for that use, especially actually why Haystack? Because it's LLM agnostic with any LLM. It has rich features, libraries, and for customers who want to create a customer chatbot, for example, it's very good because if you want to ask questions about your data, it allows you to do that, and uh, actually links your like LLM to your custom data, so you can. It helps to connect your LLM or data. That's why it's very good. It's a very mature framework for Python. It has great documentation and recipes. Very I've met for open source. So Haystack is one of my favorite. So with this, I would like you to walk away next practical plan journey. Um, follow-up recommendation, I talk Generative AI for Web Development, the book that I co-authored with Tom Auger. You will find more project ideas for practical web apps with OpenAI API.js. You will find some ideas that you can, what you can do, and also step-by-step examples how to do it. So if you want to learn how ChatGPT works and trends, weaknesses, and tricks, you can check it out. The next one is this virtual show, GenAI prompt to product showdown. Put your prompting skills to the test. It aired on April 3rd, and my AI demo also are there. It's organized by Aurelie. And if you are actually curious about discovering new tools and use cases and which are the best case, I would recommend check this out because you will find other resources like LangChain, LangGraph, and practical like demos, and also prompt engineering strategies, trick for making AI applications more accurate. And also, as an ongoing thing, I am writing on Substack, and you can scan the QR here to my blog. If you subscribe, you will find and all of these tools that I mentioned. I'm going to update a lot the next coming week. Um, and yes, so let's connect on LinkedIn. I would love to connect. Thank you very much.
Any questions?
Hello. Thank
Hi.
you so much
presentation. To pay for AI tools. I've not paid penny yet.
Do you want to pay?
However, sorry,
Do you want to pay?
because I would like to have access to all of the AI platforms at the same time. Pay once. Is there any aggregator can recommend I can pay and I can access ChatGPT, Pilot, and other AI that can, I don't know, draw and other things?
Thank you for the question. I think I don't know the answer, maybe like your question, but every subscription, for example, page, and I think that like if you're like a developer, you're not a company, better to get the paid once you get access. I think if you get the paid one, you miss a lot of like features or all the capabilities. But your question was a bit different.
I would like to add because I noticed that some AI tools, as you mentioned, better drawing picture. I was hurt that those, but
Maybe
but maybe the subscription fee high. That's why no
maybe
one actually
I will think about it and discuss.
so much.
Thank you very much for the question. My question is about vibe coding. So there are a lot of vibe coding tools for creating sites. For example, Lovable, Base 44. Why do I use and put the prompt in at the
Yes.
So do you recommend why? I mean, what's the pros of GPT language instead of
Vibe coding. You should use vibe coding. Like you should whatever tool like help get for your but if it that actually help, and actually other tools that they partner with and change. Like when I cursor don't need change code because cursor and does that, but it uses it under the hood. So maybe more like about the point working that was actually was other features that get the it's like choice if yeah you can have your favorite for example for me almost kind of and I use it I don't have or something really deep.
why I use
Yeah.
just doing a it is cool. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
More questions? If no questions, then